Okay, so picture this. You're cruising down the Pacific Coast Highway
Uh-huh.
in your electric car. The windows are down.
Yeah.
You've got that ocean breeze in your hair,
Nice.
the California sun setting in the distance,
Oh.
and then your battery warning light pops on.
Oh,
Not really the vibe, is it?
not at all. It's definitely a situation no EV driver wants to be in,
Right.
especially in Pacific Palisades.
Yeah, exactly. And that kind of leads us perfectly into today's deep dive.
Like,
We're exploring EV charging,
Oop.
but with a focus on this specific area.
gotcha.
Pacific Palisades.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful place.
Yeah, stunning.
Known for its luxury cars.
Definitely.
Big emphasis on sustainability.
Right, right.
But the thing is,
Yeah.
there's sort of a paradox going on there.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
What do you think that is?
Well, you're talking about a community that has a high concentration of EV owners,
Exactly.
but their public charging infrastructure hasn't really caught up yet.
So you've got all these Teslas, Rivians, Lucids driving around,
Mm-hmm.
but they might struggle to find a spot to plug in.
Yeah, exactly. And it leads to some real challenges for these EV owners.
Like what?
Well, think about it. Long wait times
Yeah.
at the few public charging stations,
Yeah.
especially, at peak hours.
Right, right.
And then you've got people who live in apartments or condos.
Mm-hmm.
Installing a home charger
Yeah.
might not even be possible for them.
So you could be living in this place. That's all about being eco-conscious, but you're constantly worried about
Yeah.
getting stranded with the dead battery on, like
I
PCH or
Wow.
Sunset Boulevard.
Yeah, it's a real dilemma.
It is.
And it's something that a company called BeeCharged EV
Okay.
is trying to address.
And they offer
Mobile charging services.
mobile charging.
Yeah,
So instead of going to a charging station,
right.
the charging station comes to you,
That's the idea. Yeah.
like a roadside assistance for your
Yes.
EV.
That's a good way to put it.
Interesting. But I mean, wouldn't that just shift the burden of the infrastructure instead of building more charging stations?
Right.
We're just sending out charging vans all over the place.
Well, that's a good point.
Right.
That's something to think about for sure.
Yeah.
But before we get into the drawbacks,
Okay.
maybe we should look at how mobile charging actually works.
Okay. So let's say my EV is running low.
Okay.
I'm in Pacific Palisades,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't want to spend 2 hours at a charging station.
Right.
What do I do?
Well, you contact BeeCharged EV
Okay.
through their website,
Okay.
or you can call them.
Okay.
Tell where you are, what kind of EV you have, and how much charge you need.
Mm-hmm.
They then send a technician
Okay.
who has a mobile charger directly to you.
And they can charge it anywhere.
Yeah.
What if I'm parked on the street
Mm-hmm.
or at a friend's house who doesn't have a charger?
That's the benefit. They can come to you wherever you are.
At home, work side of the road.
Yeah, pretty much.
Now, when we say mobile chargers, what are we talking about technology-wise?
Yeah.
Is it the same speed as those public fast chargers?
Well, they offer both level 2 charging and DC fast charging.
Okay. And just for folks who might not know,
Yeah.
what is kilowatt?
Oh, right. KW or kilowatt, it's a measure of charging power.
Okay.
The higher the kilobu, the faster your EV charges.
Okay.
DC fast charging, that can go up to 120 kilowatts.
Wow.
Which is much faster than level 2
Okay.
and can charge most EVs in less than an hour.
So they've got you covered whether you need a quick boost or a full charge.
Exactly.
What about the environmental impact? I mean, aren't we just adding more vehicles to the road,
It's a good point.
even if they're electric?
Yeah, it's something BeeCharged is aware of.
Yeah.
They haven't given specific details on their website
Mhm.
about how they're reducing their carbon footprint,
Right.
but it's worth looking into, Maybe they're using renewable energy for their chargers or
Right.
making their routes really efficient.
So they're not just trying to be a convenient solution,
Yeah.
but a sustainable one as well.
Exactly.
Okay, so that makes sense.
And this leads to another interesting thing about their service.
Okay.
They focus on areas in Pacific Palisades where you're more likely to have charging anxiety.
Oh, okay.
We're talking about those popular routes.
Yeah.
PCH, Sunset Boulevard, Temescal Canyon.
Yeah.
Places where there aren't many charging stations.
So they're strategically filling those gaps
That's exactly it.
in the existing infrastructure.
Uh-huh.
Smart.
They also mention their service in areas that are, important to the people who live there.
Not
Like-
what?
Like the Palisades Village, the shopping center, Will Rogers State Park,
Uh-huh.
the beach, even those big luxury homes.
Right.
That might not have easy access to chargers.
So it's not just about avoiding those long waits at public stations.
No.
It's about providing a solution that actually works for how people live there.
Precisely.
That's interesting.
They even mention fleet charging.
Okay. What's that?
Well, it basically means they can help businesses manage charging for multiple vehicles,
Okay.
like a company carpool or a delivery service.
So they're trying to be a complete EV charging solution,
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
not just a fix for a dead battery.
Exactly.
And that makes me
Is it
wonder,
that?
is mobile charging just a temporary fix?
Uh-huh.
Or is it a look into the future of how we power our EVs?
That's a really interesting question.
It is.
And it's something we'll definitely explore further as we learn more about BeeCharged EV.
For sure. But first,
Yeah.
I want to see how they compare to those traditional public charging stations.
Okay.
They have this table in their materials. Let's take a look.
All right.
Okay, so we've got this table here.
Mm-hmm.
Comparing BeeCharged's mobile charging
Right.
to those public charging stations.
Right.
What jumps out at you?
Well, the first thing I see is the availability.
Okay.
BeeCharged says they're 24/7
Yeah.
on-demand service, which is really different from public stations,
Yeah.
which a lot of times have limited hours,
Right.
or they're always busy.
Makes sense, not having to plan your day
Yeah,
around charging station availability.
totally.
Sounds pretty nice.
Definitely.
What about the cost, though?
Uh-huh.
Doesn't all this convenience come with a pretty big price tag?
Well, it's true that on-demand usually costs more,
Yeah.
and BeeCharged admits their prices are similar
Okay.
to public fast chargers.
Okay.
But they say
Yeah.
you're saving time and hassle.
So it's not about being cheaper.
Right.
It's about a different kind of value.
Exactly.
Instead of spending an hour at a station,
Yeah.
you're paying for the convenience of charging whenever.
Wherever you need to.
Okay, I get it.
They're going for a certain type of EV owner.
Right.
Someone who values their time
Right.
and wants a smooth, hassle-free experience.
Okay, but that makes me think
Yeah.
about how accessible this service actually is. It sounds great if you can afford it,
Yeah.
but could it make the gap even bigger
I see what you mean.
between the people who can easily go electric
Yeah.
and those who can't?
That's a really good point.
Right.
It raises the question of fairness
Hmm.
and whether mobile charging at these prices
Yeah.
could make things worse.
Okay, so cost is one thing.
Right.
What about just how practical it is?
Yeah.
Can they handle all the different EVs out there?
Well, from what they say, they can charge any EV model.
Okay.
They specifically mention those luxury brands you see in Pacific Palisades.
Okay.
Tesla, Rivian, Lucid, Porsche,
Uh-huh.
as well as the more, regular ones.
Right.
Nissan, Ford.
So no matter what you drive,
Right.
you're good.
Seems like it.
What about charging speed?
Yeah.
Is it as fast as a public fast charger?
They say their mobile units can do up to 120 kilowatts,
Okay.
which is the same as a lot of public DC fast chargers.
Wow.
They even say most EGs can be fully charged in under an hour.
That's pretty impressive.
It is.
So they're trying to match that speed and efficiency
Yeah.
of the public stations
Mhm.
while also being able to go anywhere.
Right. They seem to be tackling those big issues with public charging, like not enough chargers, having to wait,
Right.
and just the hassle of driving to a specific spot.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
But doesn't this just put off the need
Uh-huh.
for better public charging overall?
Right. Are we avoiding the real problem?
Yeah, that's a valid concern.
Right.
While this is a good solution for now,
Yeah.
especially somewhere like Pacific Palisades,
Right.
where they don't have enough public chargers,
Mm-hmm.
it doesn't mean we don't need to invest
Yeah.
in making those networks better long term.
Makes sense.
It's like using a temporary bridge
Okay.
while you build a permanent one.
Right.
It works, but it's not forever.
I like that analogy.
And to be fair,
Yeah.
BeeCharged isn't saying they're replacing public charging.
Right.
They're filling a specific need, offering a service for people who want that convenience and
Right.
flexibility.
And speaking of flexibility,
Yeah.
what if you need to charge regularly? Can you schedule it in advance?
Looks like they offer both scheduled and recurring services.
Oh, cool.
So you can pick a day and time for the technician to come,
Wow.
which would be great for people who commute in their EVs
Yeah.
and need a reliable way to charge.
Like a personal charging valet?
Exactly.
Okay, so this might be a weird thought.
Exactly.
But what about emergencies?
Okay.
Like your battery dies
Uh-huh.
in the middle of nowhere?
Yeah.
And there are no charging stations,
That's interesting.
right?
Mobile charging could be a huge help in those situations.
Total.
As like a mobile mechanic for your EV.
Yeah.
They can come save you.
Right. Peace of mind for EV drivers.
Exactly.
I wonder if insurance companies will start offering this.
I could see that happening.
Right.
As more people switch to EVs,
Yeah.
we'll probably see more services catering to them.
Okay, and it sounds like BeeCharged is one of the first,
Yeah.
especially in a place like Pacific Palisades,
Mhm.
where so many people already have EVs, but it's not just about individuals,
Right. They're going after businesses, too.
They are.
Yeah, they talk about hotels, company fleets,
Uh-huh.
even event planners.
So instead of a hotel installing tons of chargers,
Right.
they can just call BeeCharged
Yeah.
to come and charge for their guests.
Exactly.
Much simpler.
Much more cost-effective,
Makes sense.
especially for businesses that don't have the space
Right.
or the money to put in all those chargers.
Like EV catering.
That's a good one.
So businesses can keep up with the demand
Yeah.
without spending a ton up front.
Exactly.
So BeeCharged is like a one-stop shop
It seems that way.
for all your EV charging needs
Yeah.
in Pacific Palisades, from people to big companies.
They want to be the go-to solution
Interesting.
for anyone who needs to charge
No matter where they are.
or their budget.
Bold strategy. Will it work in the long run?
Hard to say, too early to tell.
Right.
But what's clear is that BeeCharged is meeting a real need.
Okay.
They're offering a solution
Yeah.
that's convenient, flexible, and could really change things for EV drivers.
It shows that innovation often comes from finding creative solutions to the problems that come up
Definitely.
with new technologies. And whether this becomes the standard way to charge or not, it's making us rethink things
Forcing us to ask questions.
about how we power our cars.
It's an exciting time
It is?
for EVs.
For sure.
And companies like BeeCharged are leading the way
And finding these new solutions.
to the challenges we face.
Well said. Thanks for joining me, of
Of
course,
course.
on this deep dive into mobile EV charging.
My pleasure.
Been a fascinating conversation.
It has.
I think our listener has learned a lot
I also.
about this new tech
Yeah.
and how it could change transportation.
It's got a lot of potential.
So who are these Pacific Palisades folks BeeCharged is after?
Well, one group is those luxury EV owners.
Okay.
You know, Pacific Palisades is known for its high-end cars.
Yeah, for sure.
And BeeCharged seems to be tapping into that.
That desire for like
Exactly.
exclusivity and premium service.
Exactly. Yeah.
So instead of waiting in line at a public charger,
Right.
they can have someone come to their house
To their home.
and charge their Tesla
Or Rivian.
while they're like relaxing by the pool.
It's all about that convenience
Yeah,
and personalized service
Okay.
that matches their lifestyle.
right.
They even mention they're experts
Oh, yeah.
in charging these high-end brands.
So they really know
Yeah.
the ins and outs of those vehicles.
They understand the specific needs.
Yeah. It's like a concierge
Yes.
for your electric car.
That's a great way to put it.
But it's not just about the wealthy, right?
Right. They're also going for those residents who don't have home chargers.
Yeah, because not everyone in Pacific Palisades
Exactly.
lives in a mansion with a garage full of Teslas.
Not at all. There are plenty of people
Yeah,
in apartments or older houses
right.
where they can't install a charger.
Yeah, it's just not feasible.
And for them, this could be a game changer.
Really?
It removes that obstacle
Yeah.
of not being able to charge at home
Okay.
so they can still enjoy driving electric
Without that worry.
without that limitation.
It seems like they're trying to make EVs more accessible to everyone.
Yes, not just those who can afford
Right.
those fancy home charging setups.
So they're basically saying
Yeah,
you don't need a garage full of chargers
exactly.
to go electric.
We can bring the charging to you.
Yeah. It's
Right.
like they're
Yeah,
democratizing EV charging.
I like that.
But what about the economics of it all?
Mhm.
Can a service like this really last?
It's a good question. Sending out all these technicians,
Yeah.
maintaining those mobile chargers, it can't be cheap.
Right? Right.
But as more people need it,
Yeah.
there's potential for economies of scale.
Yeah.
Meaning, as the demand grows,
Yeah.
the price could come down.
Making it more affordable for everyone.
Exactly.
Okay. And we have to think about the big picture too, right?
Absolutely.
Building out public charging everywhere,
Yeah.
that's a huge project.
Massive undertaking.
It takes a lot of money.
A lot of coordination.
Right. And mobile charging offers a solution.
Especially while we're waiting
Right.
for those big projects to be finished.
Like building those back roads
Yeah.
while we wait for the highway to be built.
That's a great way to put it.
It gives us more options.
More flexibility
Right. And it can adapt.
as things change.
Okay, so we talked about luxury EV owners.
Yes.
And people without home chargers.
Right.
Who's that third group BeeCharged is going for?
Businesses and event organizers.
Really?
They're pushing this idea of on-site charging.
Okay.
as a service for hotels, offices, even events.
So instead of a hotel
Yeah.
installing a ton of chargers, they can just call BeeCharged when they need it.
A much more flexible solution.
And cheaper too, probably.
Especially for businesses that might not have the resources
Right.
to build their own infrastructure.
Like catering, but for EVs.
That's a good one.
So BeeCharged is trying to be the one-stop shop
It seems that way.
for everything EV charging in Pacific Palisades.
For individuals and corporations.
Wow, that's ambitious.
It is. Will it work?
Only time will tell.
I guess we'll have to wait and see.
Right, but what we know now is that they're filling a need.
A need for...
Convenient, flexible charging.
And they're doing it in a way.
That could really change things.
It's really interesting to see how innovation can come up with these creative solutions.
Absolutely.
To the problems that come with new technology.
Yeah.
Whether this becomes the main way we charge or not, it's making us rethink how we power our cars.
It's definitely pushing the boundaries.
Well, this has been fascinating.
It has been.
Thanks for joining me on this deep dive.
My pleasure. Into the world of mobile EV charging. And for those of you listening,
Yes.
we encourage you to explore this more.
There's a lot to learn.
Maybe check out BeeCharged's website
See what they're all about.
and see if there are similar services in your own area. The future of EV charging might be closer than you think.
It might be right around the corner.
Until next time, keep those electrons flowing.